Hello and welcome again to the Free Game Podcast. We are so excited to be recording our second ever episode. Cheering sounds
I can't do sound effects
yet.
Yeah.
And today, if you listen to our last episode, you might remember at the end
There's a little sneak peek.
a little sneak peek, a little bit of a, well,
It's
what's
more
another
of a
word?
clue.
It was more of like we're saying,
We just told you what the episode's
yeah.
gonna
So
be
this
about.
episode today is going to be about Marvel Snap.
Mm.
Um, really good game.
hmm
Sorry, burying the lead there a little bit, because we're going to review it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Well, look.
they're going to know.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty apparent. We
Yeah.
both enjoy the game.
Yeah, a lot.
We've played it a lot.
Yeah.
We've played it more than Pilot.
I have.
They're two very different games.
This one is
Snap
less
more fun.
kloogy, I would say.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Huh.
less kloogy.
Okay.
More fun though, for sure.
Interesting.
Anyway, before go ahead.
Marvel Snap is pretty new.
Yeah, it is.
It after some beta testing,
Yeah.
it hit the Apple Store shelves
Uh-huh.
on October 18th, 2022. So
Mhm.
less than a month ago.
Yeah, so
Wow, I've never played a game this new before.
I don't think so either. So we're kind of nipping it in the butt, as some people would say.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, before we deep too far into it, I do have a question for you.
Yeah, hit me, dude.
So
Ready.
it's kind of a two-parter.
Good.
What is the Marvel movie you've seen the most times?
hmm
And also, what is the Marvel movie that you dislike the most?
That is like the same movie or two different movies?
Two different, well, yeah.
Okay. Seen the
I'll
most.
go first.
Go ahead.
I'll go first. For mine, the movie I've seen the most is probably Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie many, many times. And to answer the second part of that question, the movie I like the least, the one that I dislike the most, also, is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Good.
Yep.
Wow. Two birds with one stone.
I mean, that's what I was kind of going for.
Yeah. Wow.
It was a package deal.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Not a good movie.
this is a Marvel game, so we'll see some of your favorite characters
From
right
Doctor
now.
Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
To answer your questions, if I
Yep.
may,
Yeah, sure.
the movie I've
I
seen.
mean, I asked you.
Do you mean seen the most?
You've seen it the most times.
But because I've tried to see Civil War the most, but I fall asleep almost every time.
Hey man, it counts.
But that's not the movie that I like the least. I don't know which one I like the least. I was also marginally disappointed with Multiverse of Madness,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't seen all the Marvel movies. So,
all right,
I've enjoyed most of them.
That's fine.
Sometimes superhero movies get a bad rap. I like them, dude.
No,
It's
I
fun,
like them
man.
too.
The Avengers series was well made.
Yeah.
After all that, who knows what they're doing?
I definitely wouldn't have gotten into them at all if it weren't for my wife. She freaking loves Marvel movies. Not DC. She's not a DC fan.
Yeah.
But
oh, I'm talking about the DCU cinematic
universe, I guess. Is that a thing?
Yeah, the DC universe, the cinematic universe.
Yeah, DC. Yeah, exactly. The DCU.
The DCCU.
DCCU. Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It is now.
Yep. And so yeah, that's the reason why I got into Marvel and stuff, is because my wife's super into it.
Good.
And yeah,
my dad, he's not super into comic books. He has a little bit of a collection. When we were kids, a tradition was his mom would come to town and she'd take us to Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
And we'd each pick a book. We'd usually pick comic books because we were young
fledgling lads.
And yeah, so I've always liked comic books. Always liked Marvel. I like DC comic books too.
I've never read a comic book.
Really?
Ever.
Dude, every episode I learned something new about you.
Yep.
DC comic books, honestly, I've enjoyed them more than Marvel comic books. But Marvel movies are so much better.
I've heard the same sort of like sentiment from other people. Like, I know that Sarah, my wife, really enjoys like DC movies like earlier DC movies,
Okay.
and she really enjoys like the Batman cartoons and stuff.
Okay.
She really likes those.
Okay.
And she wants really badly to get into DC Comics,
Hmm.
but when it comes to cinematic universes, the
Yeah.
M
Marvel
M
takes the
over
cake,
DC
and that's pretty
when it
widely
comes to
accepted.
CUs.
Yeah, when it comes to CU, M over DC.
Correct.
Good formula.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get into it, dude.
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
I want to start by saying today we're gonna talk about the basics. We're gonna skim the surface of Marvel Snap.
Yeah.
Introduce
we're
anyone out there who might be listening, might be our coworker even,
yeah.
who
Yeah.
doesn't or does play Marvel Snap. This is what it looks like from the outside, and when you start playing, we are thinking about revisiting this game later,
Yeah.
getting more in depth, because
Yeah.
we're not going to get very in depth today.
We're gonna try our hardest
To not.
to not.
Yes, because we both played this game a lot.
Yeah, and we might skim just a
Yeah.
little bit below the surface, just a little bit, you
But
know.
we're trying not to sink,
Yeah,
So.
no, yeah, for sure. Later we will try to sink.
Mhm.
We'll
Oh, yeah.
be looking for any
The
reason
ship is going
down.
later.
Yeah.
All right, so walk us through, if you remember
Yeah.
well enough, what it's like to download and start Marvel Snap. You did it twice, actually.
So I have an advantage here because
Yeah.
I downloaded the game twice, and I'll say kind of like how I got into the game a little bit, right?
Mhm.
Because I think that a lot of people might have had this happen to them, where I downloaded the game, started the tutorial, played a couple rounds,
Mhm.
and then I was just like, it's not for me, and then I deleted it. But then you and one of our other coworkers, who we might have on
Mhm.
later to talk about, deep dive a little bit,
Yeah.
we're talking about it so much, and you were so enthusiastic about it. And I don't know if you know this about me, but I love games.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. And so when I hear two people, friggin' just talking shop about a game like that, I get really excited.
Yeah.
And so I re-downloaded it and did it again. So when you download the game, it's going to take you through a tutorial, right?
Mhm.
And it's one of those tutorials that, like, I mean, this is every tutorial, but I there's no other way to do it, but it's just boring for me. It's
Okay.
like, first play this card, then play this card,
Right.
then you win, and now we're going to move on to the next thing. Yeah, it's a little handholdy. And so you start I mean, do we want to talk about how the game works right now, or do we want to talk about
Let's talk about the mechanics.
Okay, so you start out with, I guess, a deck of cards. I don't know what your tutorial deck is. I think that it's probably telegraphed, like you play these cards,
Yeah, because you're playing as
Spider-Man, right?
No, what's his name?
Nick Fury. You're playing as Nick Fury, right?
Against someone.
Yeah, against, I think one of the times you play against Agatha Harkness, which, looking back on it, is really funny because Agatha Harkness, the card, plays all your cards for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So the fact that you play her, it's like she's playing all the cards, right? I thought of that and I was like, oh, that's a cheeky little callback. And so you start the game, right? And there are 3 locations. Okay, this is how every game of Marvel Snap is. Everything that I say right now is for every game of Marvel Snap. It's just that in this particular game, your tutorial game, you're playing with telegraph cards.
Right.
So I guess I can just say, for the first couple of games, it's going to be telegraphed, and then you're going to go into the real world, right? Yes. Where you're going to play against people. And so now
and bots.
There are some bots.
We think that as you start, you also are playing against bots.
Yeah.
And not always another living, breathing person.
Yeah. And so, I guess now that we have that out of the way, I can just kind of talk about the game and how it works. What I will say really fast is, I know it's annoying. I know that it's handholdy, but just get through it and this game is really, really good.
I was going to ask you how the tutorial compares to other tutorials for other games, other mobile games you may have played.
Well, I can even tell you about other mobile card games that I've played,
Okay.
which have been grueling sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
There are some card game tutorials that are rough,
Before
right?
it lets you really play.
Yeah, and so like as somebody, for example, we'll talk about like a Magic the Gathering game, right? There's a Magic the Gathering mobile card games.
Uh-huh.
It was such a soft cough. Anyway,
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. And so I've played those, and as somebody who's played Paper Magic for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
going into them, the tutorials can be so annoying,
I can see
and they
that.
can take so long.
Yeah.
And I think that it has to do with the fact that they designed it well, and also it has to do with the fact that the game is a lot more simple than Magic.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like even somebody who's played a lot of Marvel Snap, if you went back and played through the tutorial, it won't be that bad. Especially since you know what you're getting into.
Yeah. Yeah, the game, the premise of the game is kind of self-explanatory almost.
Yeah. It's very easy to understand.
Yeah. But the cards and the locations are when you have to read a little.
Yeah.
Think a little.
Yeah.
But when it's just feeding you, place your card here, do that, like the tutorial does.
Yeah.
It seemed to me like, yeah, it holds your hand, but
I understand how the game works. Yeah.
Yeah. It actually worked.
Yeah.
I've probably played tutorials that didn't help.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is what you do, and then do it.
Yeah. Another thing about this game that I think is really cool is that there was no moment where I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll have to get used to that. There was nothing like that. It's very intuitive. It just makes sense, And like you've been learning how to play Magic, right?
Very recently.
Very recently. So this is actually awesome that I can kind of use that as a parallel.
Yeah.
Because I think that, Magic is going to be my bias showing. I think that Magic is a lot more of a fruitful experience. Like there's way more in Magic. And that's why it can be a little bit harder to understand sometimes. Because you're like, oh, so why does this do this? It's like, well, if it did that, it would break the entire game, right? So this is why we have really strict guidelines around things, right?
There's
but in
a
this
lot
game,
of mechanics you have to learn.
Yeah, in this game, there's not many. No. And I feel like the second that I kind of like broke through like the tutorial cards, I was like, oh, I get it. Yeah. I know why this card is good. Yeah. I know why this card is good. And it's taken me 13 years of playing Magic to read a card and be able to say, oh, this is really good, right? I wasn't able to do that for a long time. People would tell me this card is really good, and I go, okay, but in this one, it's very easy to understand why things are so impactful. And then something else that I really like about actually, let's talk about how the game works first before I start going into like your first pool of cards, how you're building decks, all these things. So do you want to explain how the game works?
Yeah, like how you actually play.
Yeah, like playing and winning and losing and all that.
So we mentioned there's 3 locations.
Uh-huh.
The goal of the game is to win 2 of the 3 locations.
Yeah, with cards. This is a card game.
It's a card game.
We haven't mentioned that. This is a card game. We mentioned Magic, but
it's a card game.
Yeah.
So everyone starts with 3 cards in your hand.
Yeah, both
that are randomly drawn from a deck of 12.
Correct.
Later on, you can build your own decks.
Correct.
Well, early on.
Yeah.
Once you're through the tutorial, it's free game.
You can just go for it.
It's free game.
Oh, dang!
So the game starts, one location, the one on the left, is revealed. It has a specific mechanic, theme. It affects the game.
Yeah, or not. There's a couple like Ruin. Yeah. Just don't do anything.
Don't get too deep.
Sorry.
We're not naming names.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
No, we are.
Sorry.
And if you have the option, you can play a card on the first turn because both players start with 1 power.
Yeah.
Or
energy. I don't know. Let's see.
I'll tell you right now what it's called.
So
energy.
Yeah, so you start the game with 3 cards in your hand, and then it's turn 1. And it's turn 1 for both people. This game doesn't go back and forth.
Correct.
Right? Which is
good distinction.
It's nice for me because you don't have to wait for another person's turn. You're playing at the same time.
Oh,
That's
right.
nice.
Yeah.
Makes games go by super fast.
Yes.
And so if you've ever played Hearthstone, it has the same energy mechanic where at the beginning of turn 1, you have 1 energy. At the beginning of turn 2, you have 2 energy. Beginning of turn 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Okay. There's 6 turns
generally
in the game. And at the end of turn 6, somebody wins and somebody loses, depending.
So you randomly draw cards from your deck. There's times where you can't play a card because you don't have enough energy to play any of the ones in your hand.
Yeah.
But each card is an individual Marvel character that has or doesn't have an ability based off of kind of their powers, their persona,
their lore
within the Marvel universe.
Correct.
I was going to say MCU, but it's just really the MU.
The MU.
I don't know.
The Moo.
Within the Moo.
Yeah.
So, one thing I do like about this game is each card that represents one Marvel character. The artwork is pretty cool.
Actually. It's good. It is good. Cool. Like, I enjoy the artwork for every card that I've gotten. There's not a card that I'm like, oh, that art sucks, except for variants. There's some variants where I think the art sucks, but we can get into variants later, which we will talk about on this episode. That's not too deep.
No.
And another thing that I wanted to mention really fast is that each card has 2 stats on it. 3 stats on the card. Okay. There's the energy that it takes to play it. Okay. And you can play multiple cards a turn if you have enough energy to cast them. There's the energy that it costs to play it. There's its power, which is super important. And then there's its ability. And so the power on each card will be in the top right. And power has to do with taking locations. Right?
Power gets added to the location where the card
is played
or just is.
Yeah. So each location is like a hexagon, and there's 3 of them. And then at the North Pole and the South Pole of each hexagon has a number, and it's 0 at the beginning of the game. And then as you're playing, your opponent plays on the top, and you play on the bottom of those hexagons. And you can play 4 cards in each location. That's important, right? And then as you're playing, you're adding power to your side of each location, right? It's not like it's not adding power to the whole thing, right? So if I played Quicksilver, right, which everyone I think should have at the beginning of the game,
you do unlock him.
He's 1 energy, and he has 1 power.
2 power.
Does he? I don't play with him very often. Card. Yeah, I don't play with him very often. He's a 1/2. He's good.
Because and he has an ability that's pretty important.
Yeah, it says starts in your opening hand. So Quicksilver starts in your opening hand every time. And so this card for people that are just starting out, I think is very good.
Yes,
because you always want to be using your energy efficiently. I'm gonna have a very hard time not saying mana.
Yeah. If you say mana, you mean energy.
Yeah, and if I say mana, we're stopping the podcast. We're done. Yeah. And so that is kind of the very basis of how the game works. I mean, I guess talking through a game really fast, like maybe not like every card, but it's going to be turn 1. You're going to play or not. Let's just say each turn you're going to play a card. Okay. Turn 1, you're going to play a card. You're going to add some power to a location. Next turn, you might play a card at the same location or a different location, right? Then by the end of the
Another
game,
important thing to mention.
yeah.
Turn 1, the leftmost location reveals where it is and what it does. Turn 2, the middle one reveals itself.
Yes.
And turn 3, the third one reveals itself.
Yes.
So in the first 3 turns, you could end up playing a card to a location that you don't know what it does.
Yeah.
And it could come back to bite you.
Or it could be a good thing. Yeah. And so when you're playing your cards, I mean, I don't know if this is getting too into strategy, but you really need to think about where you're putting it, right? It's not only just, oh, I need to put all of my power here. It's, well, this, let's say the first one reveals itself and it says cards here get -2. Like, I just have to blindly put my cards somewhere else because I'm not going to just,
If you're using Quicksilver, then
you have a 0
any power to that location,
which is bad.
So, yeah.
And so you're playing your cards out. It's the end of the game. It's turn 6, right? You're going to play a big bomb, probably. You're probably going to play the Hulk, right? That's probably like the best 6 energy card.
That's it.
We're done. 6 energy card in the very beginning cards. Yep. Boom, you slap that bad puppy down, and then the points are added up. You can see this throughout the game. And then whoever is winning the location, your side will glow. Or their side will glow.
Your number
will glow.
Power will glow.
And then at the end, if you have 2 locations won, you win.
Yes.
Also, if you tie on one of the locations, and the other 2 are different, right? So if you tie at one place and 2 of them are different, whoever has the more power overall wins. Yeah. That's the base of how the game works. Right?
Yeah.
And so did you maybe want to talk about kind of how did you want to talk about how you get cards? Or do you want to talk about that later?
No, let's talk about that because
that's important.
When you play, eventually you start earning cubes for winning.
Yes.
Cubes you can also lose.
Yes.
This is where the name of the game comes in, Marvel Snap.
Oh, yeah. We need to talk about this. Snap!
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like Pilot.
Yeah.
Interesting. We're not going to keep this theme going.
No.
So that would be exhausting.
Oh.
You're not allowed to do this for the first few games you play.
Yeah. I think that you have to like before you get into the season, right? You have to like get some of the what are they called? Like season credits. You have to get some of the purple stuff. Okay. Once you get to the end of that, you can snap.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
I didn't pay attention to when I couldn't snap. It was all new to me. So.
Oh jeez. You can not snap in the beginning, and then at some point you can snap.
Yes.
Snapping is awesome.
Snapping means that if you snap, you're saying, I'm confident I'm going to win. I want to bet twice as many cubes.
Yes.
That I'm going to win. And if I do win, I get twice as many cubes.
Yeah. Which so if the game is normal and nobody snaps, whoever wins gets 2 cubes.
Yep.
And so with those cubes, you level up. So cubes is like the way of leveling up. What do they call this? Like your rank, right? And then if one person snaps, the winning amount of cubes is 4. If both people snap,
which happens a lot,
it does. The winning person gets 8. And this isn't like, I mean, you will also lose 8 if you lose.
Yeah, the losing person loses.
So it's like you're giving your cubes to whoever wins.
Yeah, I think
whoever loses,
ante up.
Yeah, anteing.
Like up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's what makes. It's part of one of the parts of the game that just makes me so. It just releases so much chemical goodness in my brain. Yeah. Like, it's so fun when you're confident you're gonna win and you snap and you get it.
And you take those cues back.
And then what's also good is when they're so confident and they snap and you get it, dude. You steal them.
Once you and I started feeling that, that was I was
hooked.
Addicted to the game.
You know? Well, yeah.
I mean, but so you can move up and down in rank because you can lose a lot of cubes.
Yeah.
Last Friday I was losing a lot of
matches. Today I lost so much. Really? Yeah, I'm at rank level 20 right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I lost a lot. Well, yeah. Yep. And then each level is
Anyone
10 cubes.
Who plays this game, and might have listened to this. We're talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, now I'm at rank 20," and they're like, "Okay, so these guys haven't really."
Yeah. No. Exactly. We've played enough to make a podcast about it.
Every new season, your rank goes down. I think
30.
I don't think it's 30.
Okay.
It goes down either 20 or 30.
Okay. One of the two.
It drops everyone's rank back down.
Yeah.
You start again.
Yes.
Now, when you win enough cubes, your rank goes up, and when you get to, like, for example, 5 and 10, you get rewards.
Yes.
You can get a card, or you can get what's called credits.
Yeah.
And credits you use to upgrade your cards.
Yes.
Here's something I like about this game.
Yeah.
Upgrading the cards doesn't make them stronger in game.
No.
It makes the card itself look cooler.
Yeah.
It goes from just basic, common.
Yep, just a regular card.
Uncommon, where the character breaks out of the frame.
Yep.
To rare.
I think.
Where it's 3D animation. No, not animation.
No, it's 3D. Just 3D. So if you move your phone around, it'll kind of shift.
Shift the background.
It's really nice.
And then it goes to Epic.
Epic, which is when it's animated which kind of wimpy in my opinion.
It's like their hair is moving.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. Yeah, exactly. And then the next one is legendary.
Shiny logo.
Shiny logo. Yep. Shiny logo. Yeah. And then after that, I'm pretty sure you get a hollow of the card.
After that, it's ultra, and then I think after that, it's infinite.
Jeez, man.
I haven't gotten any card to ultra or infinite.
No, neither have I.
But I've gotten to legendary.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah.
It doesn't add a ton to the card. I mean, the border is gold.
Yeah, it's cool.
The border changes with each thing,
but that's the thing, is that I like that it's mechanically the same, because there's so many games out there that are pay to win, and this is not pay to win.
This is not.
I love that. It's pay to look cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is because it makes it nice to win, because you're like, oh, I can upgrade this card I like.
Yeah.
But it's still the same card, like same ability, but it's just and so that makes it so it's like it doesn't hurt that bad to lose.
Yeah.
Because you're not falling behind. Like, if upgrading your cards made them stronger in game, losing would hurt way more, because you're like, I'm falling behind. Everyone else is gonna have way stronger cards.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And so then you win games, you get cubes, which can get you currency, right?
Currency.
There's two different kinds of currency in the game. There's credits and there's gold.
Yes.
Gold is the, if you ever played Clash of Clans, it's like the gems.
Yeah.
Gems.
That's the analogy. You can buy gold with
money.
Real life money.
And then with gold, you can buy more credits, right? It's one of those systems.
Or a variant.
Yeah, and the thing that gold is used for mostly is variants. That's what the game wants you to spend your gold on. Yeah. And so variants are different versions of cards. And the variants, what I like about them is because just like upgrading cards, they're functionally the exact same thing. They work exactly the same. If you have a really sick looking Electra variant, does the same thing as my Electra.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But you see it and you might be like, wow, that's a cool variant.
Yeah.
I've taken screenshots of other people's variants.
They're really, really cool variants. And so that's kind of like where I think they want you to put your money, as in the game
Mhm,
developers, right?
mhm.
Because they look dope, dude. And I
Mhm.
get it. I would want to put my money in there if I was willing to
Yeah, if
spend
you
money on
found
this
one that
game.
was your favorite Marvel character or something, it was a really cool variant. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. And then yeah, so those are sort of the currencies.
Yeah. So
The thing that credits give you is upgrading your cards,
mhm,
right? And to upgrade your cards, you also need boosters
yes,
for those cards.
yeah,
Each card has specific boosters for that card.
yes.
Um, and you get boosters in a myriad of ways.
Hmm.
You get them at the end of every game that you play.
Is it 6 boosters
Uh-huh.
for a random card that was in your deck?
It's not necessarily random. For now, we'll say it's random.
Okay.
So it has to be a card in your deck.
Hmm.
You finish the game, one of your cards will get 6 boosters added to it.
Okay.
And they upgrade at a power of 5. So
Mhm.
the first upgrade costs 5 boosters.
Yep.
The second upgrade after that costs 10 boosters. And the amount of credits also goes up by a certain
The
power.
amount of required.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it gets increasingly more expensive to upgrade your cards. Obviously, that makes
Mhm.
sense, right? Because you want them to look cool. And I've found that the bottleneck of efficiency in
Uh-huh.
my gaming experience is not boosters. I have so many boosters.
You have
It's
a lot of
credits.
cards. There's a little notification on your screen that says, "This is how many cards you have that can be upgraded right now if you would just do it."
Yeah. But
But
I can't
alas, yeah.
because I don't have enough credits. And so credits you get in a myriad of ways as well.
Mhm,
One of the most important parts of this game for moving forward
mhm.
is missions, right? Daily
Okay.
missions. We'll get to collector level later. But yeah, missions are super important. You get 6 daily missions,
Mhm.
and then there's season missions
Is
as
it
well. Did you
more
want to talk about
often?
those?
Is it more often than daily? The missions. I think they might refresh more than once a day.
Okay.
I,
I know that they just call them daily missions
yeah,
because you get them
that's true.
daily.
And then, uh, was there a time between the current season and the last one, or did it just immediately switch over?
Switched over.
So, when a new season starts, it'll gradually unlock more missions that you can do that are. Everyone has the same missions,
Hmm.
right? The daily missions are not the same across the board.
Yeah. And what are missions?
So missions are things you can accomplish by playing the game. For example, it's like play 80 energy worth of cards.
Yeah.
You play a couple games, you nail more than a couple. 80 is a lot.
Yeah.
You would need to play more than 12 games, right?
Yeah.
Theoretically. Anyway, it's stuff like that. Other examples are win a game with a snap.
Hmm.
So if you play a game and you snap or they snap and you win,
You get a
finish that
mission.
mission. You maybe get some credits,
Hmm.
maybe some gold.
Yeah.
I don't think missions reward cards.
No,
Big
they
cards.
don't. They don't. But another thing that they reward is I don't actually know what it's called, but it's the purple stuff.
Oh yeah, that's just
Like season energy, I guess. Season EXP.
Season pass XP.
That's what it's called.
Yes.
So it's called Season Pass XP, and it's this purple stuff that. So it's kind of like there are like 3 different leveling systems within the game.
There are.
You have your ranked. You have your rank, which is
Based
1
on
level.
cubes.
You have your season pass, which is kind of what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Right. And season pass sounds like a paid thing, and it is, but you can still partake in it without paying for it.
Right.
You just don't get all the benefits
Yeah,
of it.
you get probably honestly 2/3.
Yeah.
Like it's
a good amount.
You don't feel like you're missing a ton of stuff.
Mm-mm.
Except for the main cards or theme of the season.
Yeah.
You won't unlock those unless you buy it.
So when you win or when you get your missions, you'll get this purple EXP, this season pass EXP. And then you get that level up. And as those level up, you get rewards as well. This game rewards you with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
this is the hardest part to follow right now for sure.
Oh yeah.
All of these other ways to level up.
Well, it took me a long time to figure it out just playing it.
Yeah.
A couple of days. Yeah. It wasn't like just now I figured this all out.
It's always, it gives you a little notification, or in game it tells you, hey, click on this and you claim a reward. And eventually you're like, after you claim all of these different things, you're like, oh, okay, this is this thing, that's that, and this is the collection.
And they all kind of give me the same things, but that's fine.
Yeah.
And so with your season pass thing, you're leveling up you level up in thousands, right? Thousands of EXP, like 1,000 EXP, you go up a level. The next season, it's always 1,000, or the next level is always 1,000, right? Yeah. So, right now, and if you're listening to this in the future, it will definitely be a different season, right? Because seasons only last what, like a month?
3 weeks, 5 days. So yeah, this probably is a month.
Yeah, a month-long season.
Wow.
I didn't know that they were that long.
I know, because we started playing
during
at the tail end of last season.
Yeah. So the season right now is Warriors of Wakanda. And so if you spend $10, which we will not, right?
I think neither of us are interested in spending $10 for this season.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
In the future.
Yeah, maybe if it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for this one, you get, for spending the money, right? You get a special card, right?
Yeah.
One special card. You get 2 variants of other cards.
If you level up enough within the season pass.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you have to work for them after you buy it.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll just not be able to claim those.
Yeah.
If you haven't paid and you're leveling.
Actually, you get 3 variants. Because right away you get 1 special card.
Yeah.
The card of the season. Right now it's Black Panther.
Oh, you get the
The variant is after level 50.
Oh, that's right.
Right. Okay. And so these levels go by really fast.
They do.
And so you are going through it, you're getting credits, you're getting gold, you're getting some boosters here and there, which is really nice. Sometimes you get variants, which is cool. And then you get the variant of the card, Black Panther, right? So you get 3 variants and 1 card, which is cool, depending on what they look like, right? And so that's kind of how the season pass works. Is you complete weekly missions, or you complete season missions. Which give you way more season EXP.
They unlock throughout the weeks and days of the season.
Yeah.
And then they give you more season pass XP. Can you earn season pass XP without completing those missions?
Yeah, you earn it at daily lower levels from daily missions. Okay. Yes. Yeah, like 50 at a time. When like one of my, which I haven't done yet because it's hard. For example, one of my season missions is make your opponent retreat. Right? We haven't talked about retreating. Retreating is an option to where at any point through in your game, you can retreat and somebody wins and somebody loses, but no matter what, you only lose 1 cube. Even if somebody snapped. Yeah.
Even if both people snap?
Yeah, you only lose 1 cube.
I wouldn't know. I've never retreated.
Yeah.
Anyway.
As if.
Hey, it's true, man. I thought it split the cubes in half. Like if it's 8, you only lose 4.
No.
Okay.
Whoever loses 1 cube, and then whoever wins 1 cube. Same way.
If someone retreats.
If somebody retreats, yeah.
Okay.
And so in this one, I guess it's saying like bug your opponent enough to make them retreat. But in this, I would get 1,100 season pass experience. And if I did one of my daily missions, I might get like 150 credits, but I would only get like 50 season EXP. Okay. And so and then I want you to talk about collector number, collection level, okay? Because that's a huge deal. This is the deal.
Yeah, this is the most important leveling up system, honestly.
Yeah. Like if by listening to this, the one that you really understand is this one, we've done our job correctly. Yes. Because the other 2 you'll get. That's easy. But this is super, super important to the game.
Yes. Let's start with this. The collection level is divided by into pools.
Yes.
Holden and I are both on pool 2.
Yep.
We've completed pool 1, which means we've leveled up our collection level to, do you remember the number?
214.
214. Now, you level up collection level. This is where it gets real interesting. By upgrading cards.
Correct.
When you upgrade it to uncommon or common. No, uncommon. When you upgrade it to uncommon, you get 1 collection level.
Up.
Collection level.
Yeah. 1 higher.
Yeah. And then when you do rare, it's 2, right? And it doubles each time.
Yeah.
So when you... No, it doesn't double.
It does in 2s.
It goes by 2 after the first one. So legendary gives you 6, and you just shoot up that collection level. Yeah. And the collection level will reward you sometimes credits, sometimes boosters that are specific to I almost said champion card.
Yeah.
Or a mystery card. That's how you unlock new cards. That's the main way to unlock new cards, is building up your collection level by winning games, completing missions, upgrading cards.
Yes.
Expanding your collection level.
Yeah. At first, there are kind of like checkpoints, right, for when you get rewarded for your collection level, right? So like at first, when you go to level 1, you'll get a card, right?
Okay.
Then level 2, you'll get another card. Okay, but then after that, you have to do 2 levels. So then you have to get to level 4, then you get your next reward, right? And for the first little bit, you just get cards. Okay. You just get cards because I think that it's fleshing out your like base pool of cards. It's not yet in pool 1. It's kind of like
they don't want everyone to be playing against the same deck.
Yeah, time, so. Yeah. And then after that, it takes 2 levels, right, for a while. I think that's throughout all of collection.
All of pool 1.
All of pool 1. It takes 2 collection levels between each card. Okay, and then every other time that you hit like a checkpoint, you'll get a card. Okay, so you'll get a card, then you'll get credits, then you'll get a card, then you'll get boosters, then you'll get a card, credits, card, boosters. It's normally boosters and credits.
Yes,
that's what they give you.
And when you do get a card, it gives you a random card from pool 1.
Yeah, which has I don't actually. Can you look up how many cards are in pool 1?
So everyone who's in pool 1 is playing against each other, and they're all receiving cards from the same pool. And I mean, none of them are like crazy more powerful than any of the other cards in pool 1. So that's kind of an equalizer.
Yeah.
When you start in pool 2, for example, I just got over this. I mentioned last Friday I was getting my butt handed to me. That's because I had just entered pool 2, so I had pool 1 cards, and I was playing against people with pool 2 decks, right? And it was a lot more powerful.
Yeah, it's hard.
But pretty quick, you start to unlock cards. It can become frustrating because there's 46 cards in pool 1, as Holden just looked up.
Yep.
He's the researcher for today.
Yep, I guess.
It's interesting because, like, if you see an opponent play a card and you're like, that card won him the game. That was a great card.
Yeah, I know that by the time that I get to level 214, I will have that card.
You will have that card, but you have no idea how
when.
soon.
Yeah.
So it can be a little scary if you start in pool 2 and you're like, oh, hey, by the way, Sunspot, really good card.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know when I'm going to get him.
Yeah.
Until then, I'm just going to have to
It could be anywhere from here to, like, I think it's like a level 555 is when pool 2 ends.
Really?
That's high.
Yeah.
So it could be anywhere from here to, and the higher level you go, sooner or later, it takes 4 levels. And that's the cap.
When you get to pool 2.
Yeah, it takes 4 collection levels to get between rewards. And they're 3, your cards are 3
rewards.
Or 2 rewards between them.
So you'll get goes mystery card, then credits, then boosters.
Mystery card, credit, boosters. Every time.
4 levels between each of those rewards. So
yeah,
it's a little bit more of a grind each pool.
And if you remember me telling you earlier that I have like I think I have 12 cards right now that I could upgrade if I had enough credits.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where the grind comes in, where you're trying to get enough credits to upgrade your cards
Mm-hmm.
so that you can go up in collection level so that you can get more cards.
Yeah.
Because that's what the game is all about. It's about getting more cards,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. Because with more cards, you can build more decks.
Right.
And decks are awesome.
Yes.
Which we won't talk about specific decks. No. But something that I do love about this game is that your decks are we'll get back to anything that we kind of like left just right there. But your decks are 12 cards and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, I mean, when we said that there's 46 cards in pool 1, I think that's plus all the cards that you get at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah. Do you remember
how many there were?
Or...
Can you look up how many?
Yeah, let's
like
look up starting.
Like how many cards do you start or starter cards in Marvel Snap? I guess.
I wonder if this will link to it.
But your decks are 12 cards, which means you have so many combinations that you can do that you can play.
Yeah, as soon as you start playing a little bit, you kind of realize like, oh, there's a lot of synergies.
Tons of synergies between the cards, options. Even in the very beginning. That's something that was really awesome for me, is that there are some cards that have no effects at all,
mm-hmm.
and you'll be surprised at how quickly those disappear from your deck. Because you'll find a card that has a dope ability, and you're like, oh, I want that, and I'm taking out Cyclops. I don't care. Like, he's just a dude.
Yeah, I need the ability of these other cards.
Yeah. And so another thing that I love about the deck is that, or about the game, is that you can have as many decks as you want, which is awesome.
Oh, that is awesome.
Because I know that there are some games that are like, oh, 4 decks, sorry, that's it.
Or it's like, you could buy another one for $3.
Yeah.
And that would be frustrating.
Super frustrating, because I'd be cycling through them like crazy. Yeah. Another thing awesome about this game is that if you go online, you can download people's decks directly into the game. I don't know if you knew this.
Oh, yeah. Well, you texted me a deck, but I don't think it worked in that way.
Okay. That's fine.
But I saw that was possible. I was like, wow, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. And there's so many different ways. Like, so there, I mean, there's hundreds of cards in this game, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Like all in all.
You and I both probably already have close to 100 cards.
Yeah, yeah. That you can build these decks out of, and they're all super synergistic, and I love the strategy behind the game. And yeah,
let's we won't describe the tactics and the cards behind these decks, but some examples are a lot of cards have an on reveal ability, so when it reveals, something happens.
Yeah.
Or they have an ongoing ability, which means when you play it, once it reveals,
that's it.
That the ongoing ability just happens throughout the game. If
the ongoing
cards, it continues to do
the ongoing card that I think like you have at the very beginning that is like super like emblematic of ongoing cards is Iron Man, right?
Okay.
Yeah. 5 energy, 0 power, but he doubles the power at that location, and that's forever. It's not an on reveal, because if you added another card to that area, he would double that power as well, right? But there are certain cards that say like on reveal, I don't know.
On reveal,
this gets +3 power for each other card here.
Yeah.
Well, if you put another card there, it's not going to get another +3 power because it was on reveal, right? Then there's cards that, so there's on reveal, ongoing,
movement.
There's movement, right? These are kind of the archetypes, the broad archetypes.
Right.
Movement.
For example, I think you unlock Nightcrawler immediately.
I think so.
After the tutorial, and you can play him to a location, and then later you can move him.
Yeah.
Some locations will get locked down where you can't play cards there, but you can still move cards in.
Yes.
And he's one of those cards that moves.
Yes.
Like that.
And then there's also discard. That's a big theme. And destroying.
Yeah.
Right. Which those are pretty self-explanatory. You want to get cards out of your hand, or you want to destroy the cards that are on your side of the field for good effects. Right. some of the things that I really like about this game as well is that I don't feel like all the cards are designed to be super, 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 super good.
Right.
Like some of them are kind of bad,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of like that because
Yeah.
it means that you get to like play around with janky cards.
Try to make them work in
Yeah.
a unique deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just where your strategy and creativity come in, and it's interesting because we'll compare. For example, we both have like an unrevealed deck. We'll compare it, and they're not identical.
Mm.
Like we're like, oh, actually, I do this because this.
Yeah.
So there's like no obvious best. There's no obvious best way to build a deck,
Mm-mm.
and there's within each type of deck that you can make the synergy align with.
Yeah.
There's no best way to do that.
And if you want to win a lot, there are metas. There are like hey,
you can look up.
Don't play Ant-Man. Play this card because it is just better. You know, but you can still win playing suboptimal cards.
Anything can happen.
And the thing that I like about the game is that it's very well controlled. It's a controlled environment that you play in, right? So you both have the same amount of energy. Right, or at least you both have the same opportunity to have the same amount of energy, because there's sometimes when cards give you more energy, right? Or locations give you more energy,
right? But you have the same amount of base energy.
You have the same amount of base energy each time. You have the same. You're in the same pool of cards, right? And what I found is that a lot of the cards that are coming out that seem to like really trample on certain strategies, they have cards that directly go against those cards, right? So for example, if there's a card that wants to destroy all of my 1 energy creatures, I have a card that I can put down that says cards at this location can't be destroyed. Negated. Right? And a lot of those negating effects are in pool 1, and I really like that.
Yeah.
Because it just seems like they want you to be able to play the game and not just be totally trampled over.
Right. They want some back and forth, and they don't want it to just be like who can stack up the most power where. Like you're trying to kind of guess what your opponent's doing, react to that, while also building your own strategy from your deck.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I also really like, how you're playing at the same time. You put all your cards down, they put all their cards down. You don't see where anybody's putting their cards down until boom, the turn has started. Here are all the cards, and we're going to reveal them, and they're going to do things, right? And then next turn, and you're just there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's like one after another, fast-paced gameplay.
Yeah.
Really, really addictive.
Yeah. So, one more thing I want to say. In the season pass, once you hit 50, and you if you have purchased the season pass, you unlock like the reward spotlight is telling you this is the goal here. You get 50. After that, you can still level up the season pass.
Yeah.
And every time you do, you unlock what's called a season cache. Cache. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
And it says contains cosmetics or currency, but it's an RNG, right?
Yeah.
And you can do an unlimited number of that. So this season's going to last a month.
Yeah.
We're both probably going to blow through the first 50 levels pretty quick.
Yeah.
If we keep playing at the pace we've been playing.
Yep.
And then we're going to be getting rewards still from leveling up the season.
Yeah.
Until it's over.
Yeah. Right? It's exciting. I will say, and I will recommend that the best way to spend your gold, is on resetting your daily missions. When you go to your missions log, there'll be a button that says 120 gold. You can get 2 more missions, because missions are it's only 2.
I've never done it before.
Yeah, missions are the lifeblood to this game.
Yeah.
And the thing that I love about missions is that the way that you how do I put it? The way that you complete them is by playing the game. There's so many games that I play that are like, here's the game, and then here's this weird cringy side hustle that we want you to take a part of, and you're not actually playing the game. It's like, no, you're playing the game, and by playing the game, you're getting more cards to play the game.
Yeah.
I love that. Love that. It's a cyclical system. It works. It can be a little bit slow. When you just want to play and you want tons of cards, you're going to run out of credits.
Yeah.
And you can tell I've brought that up a couple times. I'm kind of salty about it because I want more cards.
It's interesting because that is a bottleneck for you. For me, I don't know why, but it's not.
Yeah.
I have an abundance of credits.
Yeah.
And when I can upgrade a card, I do. And I keep moving forward. And I also want to disagree with you about something.
Okay.
I have never refreshed my missions by paying gold. So I have like 1250 gold saved up. So I didn't know that it was.
Are you saving for variants?
Missions.
Are you saving it for a variant?
I don't know what I'm saving it for, but I'm just saying.
I'm wrong.
You might think that's the best tactic, and you're welcome to try it.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily put my name behind that.
Yeah.
Wild assumption.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also because I'm the kind of person that is always running out of credits, I wouldn't recommend the fast upgrade in the shop. Sorry, I can tell that you're not happy. You're really angry. Yeah, no. But do we need to pause for a second?
I haven't used the fast upgrade in a while.
Yeah. It's hey, just you don't have enough boosters for these cards, but spend a boatload of your credits to upgrade them. In the beginning, it's nice because they're 50 credits. It's simple, easy, but then it just gets more and more. And it seems tempting if you have a lot of credits, but trust me, if you just play the game, you'll get tons of boosters, especially if you play a specific deck a lot. Those cards are just going to keep getting boosters.
That's a good point. Now, Holden.
Justin.
You know what time it is.
Do I?
Biggest beef moment.
Biggest beef moment. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go right into it.
I have a sneaking suspicion that we have the same biggest beef.
Okay.
Marvel stat, but go ahead.
Okay. So my biggest beef moment is that there was only one game mode in the entire game. I think that it's actually a bigger deal than I've led on this entire episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because, you know, when you're playing a game like this, right, and you have one game mode, it can get a little stale, right?
True.
And then also that's your only avenue for moving forward is playing online, snapping, getting as many cubes as possible, getting all these credits and all that. When like I there's a huge waste of potential here, I think. That's why isn't there actually, let's talk about this first and then I'll get into what I was just going to say.
Okay.
Why can't I play with my friends? Why is there no friend list? Is that your biggest beef moment?
Yes.
Okay. So if I don't cover everything, I want to hear what you have to say about this. But like you, me, and two of our coworkers play this game. I want to play against you guys.
Of course.
Sounds so fun. Okay. And I've solved the issue that is like the only issue with that, right? Because what the issue with that for a game developer would be hypothetically would be, oh, I'll just get two phones or I'll get my phone and my iPad. I'll make friends with my two different accounts and then I'll just play them against each other and purposefully lose and get an insane amount of credits and cubes, right? Yeah. Just don't make it so that you can get rewards for playing with friends.
Zero stakes.
Yeah. Because I don't care if I'm not getting like points or anything out of it, any sort of currency. I just want to play with my friends because that sounds really fun.
The reward for beating your friend
is bragging rights.
Like this is beating your friend.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's something that, you know, is annoying about the game. And then one step further, I don't know why there's no story mode. Why there's no like a little mini map going up, you know? Because think about all the villains in Marvel that you could play against.
And they could even have like very specific decks.
Yeah.
Specific to whoever is playing against.
With maybe even cards that aren't available for anybody else. But it's so cool because it's that flavor. And then maybe later on you can release those cards or make them like super deep pool 3 cards. But like imagine playing against Carnage and he's a destroy deck. That would be so awesome. And it says Carnage and then he can like talk to you as you're playing like, oh, you're never gonna win, you know, like things like that. And you could do that with so many. And then
it's true.
You know, with those you could still earn credits and all that. And that's another thing yet another thing on top of that, this goes one layer deeper, is that if I don't have service, I can't play the game. But if I don't have service, I could play the story mode.
You've thought about this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
And so that's something that's rough for me, is that I know that I can play this game infinitely. I can play it for as long as I want, but with only one game mode, it can get a little stale, right? That's my biggest beef moment.
Yeah,
for sure.
The only thing, because my biggest beef is also playing with friends.
Yeah.
The only other thing I have to say about that is this game came out in October.
Yeah.
So maybe that's down the road.
Yeah, there's opportunity for that.
We don't know yet. We're already on season 2, I think. I mean, there's no way it's been more than that because they're month long.
There was a beta. So maybe there were seasons in the beta, but...
So who knows if that's going to happen or not.
If it's going to come down the pike, I don't know.
But I hope it does.
Yeah.
Honestly, if the developers are paying attention, it will, because that's a lot of people.
That's like the biggest complaint that I've seen across all the reviews that I've read.
Yeah, me too.
So now that we've got that out of the way, right? Unless you have any other beef. Do you have any other beef to squash with this game? Or any bones to pick?
Only Shang-Chi.
Just the card.
The card.
We can talk about that later.
That's for later.
Yeah, I got Shang-Chi'd really hard.
Really?
Yeah, today. Yeah.
Wow.
Super hard. It hurt.
Yeah, it hurts, dude. Nothing hurts more. No other card hurts more.
Killmonger hurts pretty bad.
Yeah, it can.
But that's for later. That's for later. So how about, now that we got the bad out of the way, right? Let's just recap on what we like about it.
Okay.
And then we can read some reviews and we can leave a review.
All right.
Okay, so that sound good? Okay. Do you want to go first on what you like? Okay.
So the game is well made.
It is.
The interface is pretty easy.
Yeah. With how many different leveling systems there are, it's surprisingly easy to move around.
Yeah, it is. And honestly, all the different leveling systems and stuff, I don't really have a problem with that, because it's not that hard to learn once you start playing. It might be hard to learn from like this
listening
episode,
to this,
because it's like there's a lot going on.
And it's hard to describe.
Yeah, there is a lot going on.
Yeah.
But once you play a little bit, you get used to it and you learn what's what.
Yep.
So I don't think that takes away from it, because also it's like, I'll take rewards from any avenue.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
I like that there's just cool artwork.
Yeah.
And the fact that upgrading a card is desirable.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make the card any stronger.
Yeah.
It's kind of an even playing field.
Yeah.
Is that the same?
Yep.
So those are a couple things that I like.
Yeah.
I'll probably think of more. What do you like?
So something that I've been wanting to mention, but I just now remembered, is that to play this game, you don't have to like Marvel. Okay. That's not really a perk of it, but that's something that I've just wanted to say, because, I'm not a huge Marvel fan, and I freaking love this game. And I think that when I see Marvel games, I normally, if it weren't for you and our coworker, I wouldn't have downloaded this game ever, because I'm like, it's a Marvel game. But this is actually a really well-made game, despite the fact that it's Marvel. And also, it's kind of making me like Marvel a little bit more. Playing it, because you kind of see, I really like seeing the artwork of cards, and I'm like, oh, that's what this character is actually supposed to look like, because I only know Wong from the movies, know? And so that's nice.
That is cool.
To me. Now, the things that I really like about the game.
All right.
Okay? Games are fast.
Yes.
Okay, which makes it super addicting. That's my second point.
I don't know if we ever mentioned this. Each turn has a timer.
Yeah.
There's a button that says end your turn when you've played your cards.
Yeah.
And it'll shift colors it's empty.
It's depleting.
Yeah, it depletes, and eventually the screen will start flashing red. It's like, hey, you got to play. There's a little haptic.
Yep. And then it says time out, and then or out of time or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it plays your cards.
And
or if you didn't play anything, you don't get it.
it's sufficient time for sure.
Yeah.
But it's a good balance between that and it's a maximum, and so the games have a maximum time limit.
Yeah.
And it's still not that long at all.
No, it's not.
It is kind of annoying when you're trying to play and the other person isn't.
Yeah, exactly. They're probably trying to make you retreat for their weekly mission or whatever. Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else that I love about the game is that there's so many different strategies, you know. Won't go into those, but there are a lot of different strategies. I love that about the game.
Yeah.
I also love one of my this is probably my favorite part about the game is that upgrading cards does not make them better.
That is a genius idea.
I've never seen, and I haven't seen all of them. Right. I haven't swung with the best.
Eventually, we will have seen all of them.
Every game,
maybe.
Every game.
So
that's the goal with this podcast is to see every game.
It is.
But I've never seen that in a game before, where it's like upgrade. Because when I remember when I first saw that it said upgrade, I was like, oh no, because it's like if this is if my Medusa, right, that's the first card you ever upgrade in the game. If my Medusa then goes from a 2 energy card to a 1 energy card, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Or if it said, hey, instead of getting +2, it gets +4, that's messed up to me.
Yeah.
Because then you're just, by losing, you're getting that much further behind.
And when a game has something like that, no matter what other things they try to do to prevent it from being a pay-to-win game, it's a pay-to-win game.
Exactly.
Fortnite, you can only buy skins.
Yeah.
So that's another game that's a completely different world, but
you're right. I guess I was only thinking about card games.
Yeah, card games, and even on mobile games, I don't know that I've seen that.
I've seen card games where your cards do get upgraded, but they're never multiplayer. It's always like a roguelite or like a dungeon crawler sort of a game, or like a multiplayer. Everybody's working toward the same goal. Sort of a thing, like maybe like a board game where you're like building up your cards and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some of my favorite things about the games or about the game. I love that the decks are easy to build. You don't have to be a genius to build them, and it's just fun. It's a fun game. I wish that there was more game modes, but as of right now, I'm having a good time with it. I hope that I don't get burnt out on it too soon.
Yeah.
Because I'm having a really good time with it.
Yeah,
as of right now.
I am too, man.
And I am one to get burnt out on games. That's something I ought to mention. Is that I have game ADHD.
I think we're similar in that way. We latch onto a game for 2 to 3 months,
and then just abandon it to the ruins.
Yeah. So couple last things I want to mention.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into the reviews.
Thank goodness.
So you and we play Marvel Snap a lot right now. So we bust through the daily missions. But the season missions unlock gradually.
Yes.
So even if you don't bust through a lot of daily missions, like you can get on always have a daily mission ready. It's 2 at a time when they refresh.
Yeah.
But you can have up to 6
at a time
active. We bust through that, but also we have to wait for the season mission.
Yes.
Like it's a good balance between dailies and season missions.
The season missions are always harder to complete.
Yeah, they're a little
which
bit more work.
Makes sense because it's like you have all day basically before the next one refreshes. So
you long time between.
You got a long time. You don't feel like you're like so far behind, because if they were coming up every couple of hours, you'd be like, I can't get all these. You know? It would actually be pretty nice though, because then you'd get more rewards. Yeah, whatever.
And then all right, last thing I want to say about it. I kind of wish I've seen a lot of variants of cards. I haven't been too impressed with most of them.
There have been 2 or 3 that I've been very impressed by.
Yes.
And the rest of them, I'm like, take it or leave it.
Yeah. I kind of wish the variants, I mean, in terms of like how different you could make a card of a superhero look or even a villain or whatever, it's free game.
Yeah. Oh, nice, dude.
Like,
I also I took a screenshot earlier today. I wanted to show you it. It's a
okay,
variant of Agent 13 that I just think looks horrible.
okay.
Like so bad. So I'm showing it to him right now. I don't understand it.
It's Iron Man plus Captain America.
It's
Also
not
Iron Man, not Iron Man. Like,
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
But isn't that just really weird? I don't.
That's bad.
Maybe I just don't understand the lore behind Agent 13.
Yeah,
And
I
also,
don't either.
what's with the face?
Yeah,
It
is
just
it
looks bad.
male or female?
I know. So that's something that
we both have some variants that
Yeah.
we do not want to use or upgrade.
Yeah, and those are the ones that we will probably get in our mystery variant things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Okay, let's go to reviews.
All right, dude.
Are you ready?
Are you?
I don't know, dude. So now I'm gonna guess what the rating is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me really quickly tell you what the rating for Marvel Snap is overall on the Apple App Store.
I bet it's high. I'm gonna guess.
Okay, you guess and then I'll guess.
I'm just gonna guess 4.6.
All right, I'm gonna go 3.8. 4.8.
Ooh, higher than both of us. I was closer though, so
That's
I win.
almost perfect. You win.
Really high reviews.
So this review is by SJEVE. Steve with a J.
Steve. Sajeev.
Fun game and worth playing, period. But, ... Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I first saw the trailer for this, I thought it looked fun, and when I played it, period. I was surprised by how much I play this. The gameplay is the highlight of its entirety. I'm sorry. It's fast-paced.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you strategize. And there are plenty of combinations with certain cards that can secure a win for you. And this is in parentheses. If you know what you're doing and play it right. Period. But at the same time,
that is for any card. Go on.
But at the same time, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
It has flaws. The biggest being that there are times when I can clearly tell that I was against a bot. I'm sure there are real-time players here, but IMO, in my opinion.
I know what that means.
Right?
Yeah.
Not everyone does, Holden. I was convinced that I was against bots more than anything. The second is the season pass. The pass itself isn't worth it, and it costs $10. When I saw this and the microtransactions in the store that have the variety cards, this was an immediate red flag to me.
Okay.
Heck, variety cards are hard to come by and are only found in the season pass, in parentheses. I haven't seen the poll pass in a while. He might have meant full pass.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the premium pass for $10. Don't know what he's saying there.
I'm not following.
No.
With almost anything that he's saying.
Overall, this is a fun game.
Okay.
And the gameplay clearly shows.
I understand that.
Mm-hmm. All it needs is more ways to get variety cards. I agree.
Is he trying to say variants?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. I agree.
I think if he's trying to say get more cards, I disagree. I think there's plenty.
There's a lot of ways, yeah. If he's trying to say a variety of cards,
yeah,
he's wrong.
He needs to
if
go
he's
to
saying
the deck building section because he has a variety of cards.
Yeah, he does.
And have more of the rewards in the season pass for free. I could see that. I'm not complaining that much because there's so many different avenues to get rewards.
Yeah.
When that's there, THEIR, then this would be 4 to 5 stars definitely. So now you have to guess how many stars you rated it.
I'm gonna guess 3 stars.
You rated it 3 stars.
Okay, he kind of buried the lead a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
That's the second time I've used that phrase.
You were listening.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I'm gonna give him a hint."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't use that phrase anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I've had it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with some of the things that Steve said.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with some of the things that he said, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
I agree.
It was just kind of a funny read.
Yeah.
But
no offense to Steve.
Yeah.
That's never the point of what we're trying to do when we read the reviews. We're trying to put a pulse on the game. You know?
Yeah. And he's got some good points.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff is, not a big deal to me, but like playing against a bot, I don't really care for.
As long as I don't
care about. Yeah.
Yeah. If they suck, I win.
If they suck, I win. If they don't, I'm engaged.
Yeah.
Because I'm competitive.
It's hard.
All right. wow, this guy, his name has like the dots that are in the center, you know, like the Wall-E dot.
Show me. Oh, but you can't.
But I can't.
The dots in the center?
You know
oh,
how,
wall.e?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
On the ends of his name. So,
wow.
And then his name is Master Control Program.
Wow. Sounds like a computer.
Yeah, it kind of does.
He sounds like a bot.
Yeah. The title of this review is I Dislike This 3000. Period. This is a 2v1 game. Period.
In reference to Iron Man, right? I Love You 3000?
I think so.
Okay. He doesn't even hate it. I dislike this 3000. That's a great review.
This is a 2v1 game. I'm intrigued.
2v1? Mm-hmm. No, it's not.
He said it. So
is that the sentence?
That's the title of this review.
Okay, go on.
I made it to rank 71 and am over it. If you like bare bones deck building simulators that lock away cards you need to be competitive in blind bags and being crushed by unforgiving RNG gimmicks, then this is the perfect app for you.
Wow.
Scalding.
He said scalding?
No.
Oh, you think that the review is scalding. Mm-hmm.
Is that the word, or scathing?
Here,
scalding is hot.
Like, yeah, scathing. Scathing is a way to say that it's a harsh review.
That is a good actually word for it, because he's coming in hot. Yeah, and it's harsh.
Yeah. So right off the bat, I can't 100% disagree with him. Go on.
Yeah. This game forces everyone to play the same decks over and over and over and over. That's not true. Because no one has the cards they need to change up their quote-unquote strategies.
That's not true. I'm sorry. Sorry, Master Programmer.
Master Control Program.
Master Control Program. That's not true.
So you see the same cards and curves every monotonous match, which you'd think would give you an upper hand to beat the opponent's deck, except the board is also playing against you. Oh, that's the 2 in the 2v1.
Oh, 2v1. The board is against both of you.
Yeah. It's a 1v1v1.
It's a 1v1 and one of them is a 1v2. It's a 3-player game and one of them is versus both of you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The board is at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. But also, this is not...
That's not true. Move on.
Yeah. Sorry, I lost my place.
You're fine.
Except the board is also playing against you, and there are so few ways to adapt when the location completely ruins any strategy you are attempting to set up. You only have 12 cards, so if a location shuffles 10 random cards into your deck, into your hand, what's the point of even making a deck?
Does a location do that?
If you got 5 rocks into your deck twice in a game, which you can't, I don't think there's ever a repeat location in a game. You know, like out of the 3.
There can be the repeat locations.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But most of the time, the way that they'll do it is it'll be like one location, and then the middle location will say, one of these locations will get ruined after this. And then the other one is the same location. So the third one, if two of the locations are the same, and I could be wrong, but if 2 of the locations are the same, most of the time what I've noticed is that the other one will always have a caveat about changing one of the other locations. Something like that.
So it's possible that you could get 10 rocks into your deck.
But, I mean, that's so, like, both of you have 10 rocks in your deck.
Yeah, that's true.
Neither of you are having fun.
Yes.
And also, you know what? I hate that location, too.
I hate it, too, but the odds of getting both of those, I've never even thought about that.
But even getting 5 rocks, we should explain. A rock in the game is a card that has 0 power, and it costs 1 energy. And in this game, drawing cards is super important to furthering your game strategy. So if you are playing a game and you're hoping to draw the Hulk, and you don't have the Hulk in your hand, when you add 5 cards into your deck that aren't the Hulk, it massively lowers the chance of you drawing the Hulk.
Yes.
And so it can completely ruin your strategy. But then you have to think, at that point, it's kind of just like, well, I hope my opponent didn't get, the nut draw,
Yeah.
Like the best possible draw.
Right.
That's what the nut draw means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they also have all those rocks swimming around in the deck.
Exactly. Now, if it said player 1 gets, I'd be like, this game sucks, dude.
That would be terrible.
I'd be
and that's why they
angry.
didn't do that.
Yeah.
Because they didn't.
Yeah.
All right. or when the TVA location pops up on location 3 and ends the game at round 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still it's unbiased.
It's for both of you.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're playing an aggressive deck and you're getting your cards out way faster, then you're probably going to win. And if you're playing a slower deck, you're probably going to lose. But then again, that's the luck of the draw. Yeah. And also, I mean, it's the same thing as if you're playing a destroy deck and you put all of your cards out on an unrevealed location, and then it's Wakanda and they can't get destroyed. It's like, well, sorry, it just didn't work for you, man.
That's the game.
That's the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's the way it works.
The next sentence is super fun, guys.
That I don't think that's genuine.
It doesn't sound very genuine.
He's going, super fun, guys.
Yeah. He says, you'll have so much fun losing 90% of your matches by one single point in a lane.
Okay, this guy's salty.
Oh, and you can't play your friends. ...
That's true.
Just bots and random online players who snap at the start of every match or just run away. If someone snaps at the start of a match, I love that because I'm like, odds are I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep.
And the card effects that you earn by upgrading cards are broken. They just turn the card black or the effect doesn't play at all.
Oh, he's saying broken like it doesn't work.
Bugs.
Like not it's broken, like it's so good. It's like it just doesn't work. I haven't experienced that.
Me neither. They really took their time with this one. When I screenshotted this review, because that's what I did, it says Saturday. So that was probably a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Which means that I've never seen a bug in this game yet.
There was a very recent update.
That's true. Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I've seen a couple bugs in this game where once I played, if you know, you know. If you don't worry about it. But I played Iron Fist.
Okay.
And then I had Kraven on the location to the left. I played Iron Fist and then played another card. And instead of moving my other card, it moved Iron Fist. And then Iron Fist and Kraven became the same card.
Oh.
And it was like this weird overlay thing.
Error.
It was just a complete error. I lost that game, and that sucked.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm over it.
But you're like, hey, it's a bug.
Yeah, they'll fix it. It's the first week, or like the first 2 weeks of the game being out. You know?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Nothing like that has happened since. Other than like one time I played Moon Girl, and it doubled my hand, and some of the cards looked weird.
Oh.
So
I've had a card look kind of weird.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing. I've never had anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've never had anything where effect just doesn't work.
Yeah, no, neither have I.
So
they always work.
I want you to guess what this guy rated this game out of 5 stars.
I'm gonna guess Can you read the title again?
I dislike this 3,000. This is a 2v1 game.
1 star.
1 star.
Okay.
Didn't like this game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that he lied a bunch in his review or didn't understand the game, but
he just seemed like he was just angry.
Yeah,
What was his name again?
Master Control Program.
I am sorry. I'm sorry, Master Control Program, that you had a bad time with this game. Yeah. We really like it though.
He said he made it to rank 71. He's probably played more than us.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Well.
So, okay. How about we write a review now?
I have one more short one.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
This is by Reggin. Reggin.
Reggin. Wait.
What?
Reggin.
Yeah.
That's the. Never mind. Go on.
It's called Wow, This Game is Lame. Period.
Okay.
I first saw one of the lead devs was the guy from Hearthstone.
Okay.
Didn't know that? Cool fact. Fun fact. I expected great things. So I gave this game a shot. Holy cow, this is a basic game.
Holy cow.
Throw you cards at 3 points and win them. Maybe you meant throw your cards at 3 points and win them. That's it.
3 points is in 3 locations.
Yeah.
Got it.
The ad shows a bunch of characters. Nope, those are variants on the same base card with no different effects. Why? Question mark, explanation point.
I've never seen the ad.
If you have 3 different Iron Man, they shouldn't be a cosmetic. Each should do something different.
I disagree. Wholeheartedly.
I give this game a month or 2 before it's dead. This was on October 25th. I think it came out on the 18th of October after the beta.
Okay, wow. So it's been over a month, right? Today, no, it hasn't. Since it came out.
Yeah, no, not even yet.
Let's keep our fingers crossed.
That was, yeah, that's true. We don't know.
Yeah, as of time of recording.
I don't think this game is going to die that quick.
No.
Personally.
No.
Also, I know I haven't seen many ads for this game.
I don't want to see the...
I thought you were telling me to stop.
No.
You were holding your hand over the review.
No.
But I have seen ad. It is frustrating for me when I see an ad for a game, and this happens a lot. And I download it, and it's nothing like the ad.
Yeah,
that happens a lot.
That's a segment that I want to do on this podcast. Is for like crappy game ads, just like, is this game actually what the ad says it is?
Yeah, we will have episodes where we go through like maybe even 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, yep.
And just say yes or no.
Yep.
In fact, I kind of wish I had looked into more of the ads for Marvel Snap, because it does really grind my gears when the game does that.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if there were ever ads for Pilot,
I doubt it.
But I'm just gonna guess that if there were, they were probably accurate to the game.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like that's a recent thing where they try to hook us in.
Well, especially with Marvel games, I feel like it's so easy to do that, because you can be like, oh, I'll just show a bunch of Marvel characters doing a bunch of cool stuff, and then we'll go snap. You know. So I don't know.
Here's the thing though. The Marvel the ads that I've seen, and I haven't sat through the whole thing. It's just been kind of as I'm scrolling on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten a lot of ads for Snap because I talk about it a lot. My phone hears me and shows the ad. Even though I download the game and I play it.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like it is that far of a stretch, actually. Compared to other games I've seen, it seems like it's pretty accurate to what the game is.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I don't think that's...
Maybe there's a specific ad that we haven't seen that's really egregiously misleading.
Also, I disagree that the variants should each do something different.
Yeah, I disagree with that wholeheartedly, because then it's paywall of cards that I can't get unless I want to pay money.
And then there's thousands. It's way more complicated.
I mean, for every card, you would have at least 3 or 4 other cards that you can't play. Sorry. Who left that review?
Reagan.
That is a really, really bad idea. Yeah. So
I just understood his.
So I was going to say something, but I decided not to.
Why would that person do that?
I don't know.
Now, let's go ahead and guess what your review.
I'm gonna guess 2 stars.
1 out of 5.
Yeah. I saw it, but I just wanted to make it interesting.
You didn't want to cheat.
Yeah, I'm not a cheater. So, okay, now I think it's time that we write our own review of this game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about stars, okay? Because I think that stars, that's going to be something really important to set a baseline for our podcast, is that 5 stars is a lot of stars to give a game. Mm-hmm. That is, this game is perfect or almost perfect. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, okay, and also different games are going to get different star ratings.
Right.
If we play a simpler game in the future, it might get more stars off the bat because it just has less bad things about it.
Yeah.
And so if we give a, full-blown story game 3 stars, that might actually be worth more than the 4 stars that we give to a really simple game. Does that make sense? Yeah. And so I think that that's really important to understand. For us and for anybody listening, is that the stars are important to us, but the review is going to really flesh out what we think about it.
Yeah.
Right? In comical ways or not.
Yes. Right? If in the future, this is highly possible, Marvel Snap adds more game modes, one of them being play with friends, 0 stakes.
Yeah.
That for me would make whatever we give it today, I would add a star.
Probably. Depending on if it works
because that was yeah. If it's the same level of quality.
Yeah, for me, if they added 2 more game modes, really fleshed it out, this could be a really, really good game.
I think that's like the only thing holding me back from 5-star.
Really?
The only other thing I can think of is like I want more variants without paying.
Yeah, but I mean that's just they got to make money somehow, you know. So I get it, because that's just like how I think I'm trying to remember when I said this, but that's what's making it so that I'm not riddled with advertisements, is the fact that people buy gold to get variants.
Yeah.
So keep the variants.
Happy for that.
I don't want ads.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. So if there were more game modes, even later on down the road, I think honestly I'd want to give this game 5 stars.
Yeah, and if that does happen, we might have to revise maybe an intro. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll rewrite a review.
All right. So gut level, what is your star rating?
4.
4. I'm trying to choose between 3 and 4.
Okay.
I think that it's 4.
Okay.
I think that it's 4, especially since it's a mobile game.
All right.
Just because
what would be the reasons that it's a 3?
It's just because it's not like the best game ever. You know, it's really, really good, you know, but like if I was just like to give you a gut check about it, like a 4-star game, that's a really good game, you know? And this is good, but right now it's just a little bit basic, but you know what? We'll give it 4 stars because I agree. For a mobile game, this is a really, really good game.
Okay.
Title.
All right.
You go. Oh, wait, no, I have one. Aw, snap.
I was thinking of that.
Okay.
Aw, snap. This game?
Question mark?
No, this game, comma, pretty good.
Okay.
All right.
Who's starting?
I like Marvel. I like the movies. I've enjoyed Marvel comic books in the past.
But none of that matters.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say. And I love Marvel Snap. Snap. You can't do that. You have to be full caps, by the way.
And exclamation point every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
The gameplay is fast and entertaining. And smooth. Should I put a comma or just fast and entertaining and smooth?
Yeah.
Okay. Fast and entertaining and smooth. And fast and entertaining and smooth and entertaining.
and quick.
And quick. Very quick.
Yeah, very quick. Almost like snapping your fingers.
And very, I'm not putting that, that's lame. And very quick.
Prepare yourself.
Okay. Prepare yourselves.
Okay. There's a group reading this review.
Yeah, there is.
Prepare yourselves to fight for your favorite Marvel characters, comma, pair them with other synergistic allies, comma, and just curb stomp your opponents. Take out the word just.
How do you spell allies?
Allies.
Okay, it's just I put that 3 times and it's just putting alleys. Like this is Allie's thing. What was the last thing you said? And curb stomp your opponents. As much as I do, should we say we?
No.
As much as I do enjoy Marvel Snap. It's not a perfect game. With only one game mode, lacking lacking local play or a story mode.
Do you want to say or an offline?
Yeah, or an
just to give them a nod.
Offline story mode. The gameplay can feel repetitive and
does it feel anything else because of that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And repetitive
grindy.
And grindy.
Grind-Y.
Grind-E. Grind-ish.
Grindish.
Other than that, this is a great mobile game for on the go fun. Okay, really now we gotta shill. We gotta shill, right?
Yeah.
So, what do we say? We went into much more.
Well, the problem is we switched from I to we. So
that's why I'm saying we.
Let's do for the developers. We'll try to cover our butts a little bit in terms of shilling.
Okay.
For the developers. There is a much more in-depth review of Marvel Snap at the Free Game Podcast.
Got to capitalize those at the Free Game Podcast, episode 2.
They're like,
yeah, episode 2. Okay. Now,
anything else?
No, I don't think so.
All right, dude. 4 out of 5 stars, man.
You can find it on Spotify. Okay, send.
Send it, dude.
All right, thank you all so much, whoever's out there, for listening to our Marvel Snap review. We like this game a lot, and we have a lot to say about it. Not every episode is going to be this in-depth and long. Some would say trudging.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
especially if they hate Marvel and card games and mobile games.
Oh, dude, if you hate those 3 things, this was a rough listen. But yeah, we will shoot for shorter episodes.
Yes.
This was not one of those.
I also want to say
oh my god, one more thing.
One more thing. A couple more things.
Oh my gosh.
This episode was longer, but we want to talk more about this game, and we will.
Yeah.
We mentioned this earlier.
Yep.
So, we really tried to just keep this episode down to what we felt
the bare bones, what was necessary. Yeah, exactly.
We're already splitting what we want to say
in half. Yeah, because there's the intro, and then there's the entire breadth of the game that we want to talk about as well.
Right.
So yeah, thank you for listening.
So
one more thing,
real quick.
Okay.
Do you think we should announce what our next episode, the topic of our next episode? Yes or no question.
Okay.
After you answer, we'll end it.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Phase 10.
Phase 10.